Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really fascinating plunge into a market that might surprise you. I mean, its sheer scale and consistent growth. We're talking about the world of breast milk collectors. Our mission today is to kind of cut through the data, pull out the vital insights, and maybe some truly surprising facts along the way. And our guide for this is some exclusive data from cognitive market research, specifically their global breast milk collector market projections. But look, this isn't just going to be us reading numbers. It's about understanding the pulse of a niche but really essential part of maternal health. You know, the trends hidden in these figures, they can reveal some pretty powerful shifts happening globally. Okay, let's unpack this.
Exactly. And what we're going to explore, it really goes beyond just the dollar signs. It's about figuring out the underlying forces, societal, healthcare that are driving these trends, understanding how global demographics, evolving practices, how they're shaping maternal care, and why this particular market shows such, well, robust growth, sustained growth, actually, across continents. It's like a microcosm of modern parenting. So yeah, let's start with the big picture, the global market. Back in 2021, it was already valued at a pretty substantial sum, just under $444 million. But here's where it gets interesting. It's projected to climb over $560 million by 2025, and then it really picks up speed, estimated to reach nearly $900 million by 2033. And this isn't just some wild guess. It's based on a remarkably steady compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of 6% year after year.
Wow. Okay, nearly $1 billion.
Yeah.
For what, many people might think of as a very specific device that's significant, almost doubling in value over about a decade.
Yeah.
So when you see a segment like this growing so consistently globally,
Yeah.
what does that really tell us? It kind of suggests a universal need, right? Maybe an evolving one.
Yeah, what's truly fascinating here is just that consistency, the consistency of growth across the globe. It signals that, adopting these collectors isn't just some local fad. It's becoming widespread, integrated into modern maternal care. And that points to broader shifts, like you said, increased awareness of, well, breastfeeding benefits, the changing work-life dynamics for new parents, and of course, big improvements in the products themselves, design, accessibility. It's becoming less niche, more of a standard tool, really.
That makes total sense. Yeah, a reflection of modern life almost. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit. North America. This market is a powerhouse. The region together was worth over $126 million in 2021, projected to more than double, over $250 million by 2033. That's a solid CAGR, nearly 6%. And within that, the U.S., well, no surprise, it leads the way. Projected over $212 million by 2033. Canada also showing strong, steady expansion. Looks like it's approaching $27 million by 2033.
Right. Both the U.S. and Canada, they're mature markets,
Yeah.
established healthcare, high awareness. So their steady growth isn't shocking. It's built on that existing demand, and these products just keep getting integrated into family routines.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting in North America. Mexico. Now, it started smaller, just over 4 million in 2021, but it's projected to leap over 10.5 million by 2033. And the standout number, that's CAGR, over 7.2%. That's the fastest in the whole region. That's quite a surge. What do you think is fueling that?
Yeah, Mexico's acceleration is it's a fantastic example of dynamic market entry. That surge suggests, well, probably a mix of things, maybe rising disposable incomes in some areas, a growing middle class that's more open to these kinds of modern maternal health tools, and maybe, changing cultural attitudes around breastfeeding support, especially as more women enter the formal workforce. Could also be better distribution, maybe successful health campaigns. It's a market really finding its feet.
Okay, so shifting across the Atlantic now, Europe it presents a similarly strong picture. The region as a whole, over 113 million in 2021, projected to climb to 221 million by 2033. The CAGR there is around 5.7%, pretty solid. Germany leads the pack in Europe, projected to nearly double, actually, to over 49 million by 2033. And the UK also shows really robust growth, heading towards over 35 million.
Right, and then you've got steady contributions from others, too. France looks like it's nearly doubling its market size. Italy, Spain, they show significant gains. And Russia, too, is a steady player. So consistent gains across, well, quite diverse European countries. Absolutely. But what's particularly noteworthy in Europe, kind of like Mexico and North America, is this rest of Europe category. This segment, it includes smaller but often quite affluent countries, think Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, places like that. It shows the highest CAGR in the region, over 8%. It's projected to nearly triple, growing from about 11 million in 2021 to over 32 million by 2033. So this does raise an important question. What makes these smaller European markets so Agile, so ready for rapid adoption. My guess, maybe highly integrated national healthcare systems that really push breastfeeding support, or perhaps just higher disposable income, letting people adopt premium care products faster. Could be a mix.
That's a fascinating insight. Yes, it shows how even within a developed region, you can get these pockets of really explosive growth for different reasons. Okay, let's head over now to Asia Pacific, which the data says is actually the largest market globally for these collectors. Its total revenue was over 150 million in 2021, projected to soar to over 312 million by 2033. And it's maintaining a strong KGR2 over 6.3%. So what does it mean for a region with such, diverse economies, yet this consistent leading growth in this specific area?
Well, Asia Pacific's leadership, a huge part of that is just sheer scale, right? China alone, nearly $62 million in 2021, expected to more than double to over 130 million by 2033. And India also shows incredibly rapid growth, projected to hit over 55 million by 2033. You've got immense populations, ongoing urbanization in these countries, plus rising health awareness. It just creates this vast growing demand.
And it's not just China and India, is it? We see substantial numbers from Japan, too, projected to double, over 36 million. South Korea, on track for big growth, nearly 16 million. And even countries like Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, and then Southeast Asia as a whole, they're all contributing steadily. Southeast Asia looks like over 21 million combined by 2033. It really is widespread across the whole continent.
Exactly. So moving on, let's look at South America. This market is also growing, started just under 20 million in 2021, projected to reach nearly 35 million by 2033. The CAGR there is over 5.3%. Brazil is the clear leader, projected over 13 million by 2033. But you also have Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Chile, all adding to that regional expansion. It's showing solid sort of foundational growth.
Okay. And from there, we go to the Middle East. Now, this region really stood out to me for its particularly high CAGR, almost 6.5%. The market's projected to hit nearly 51 million by 2033. It's a big jump from just over 23.5 million in 2021. Saudi Arabia leads that charge. Looks like it's forecast to more than double. And the UAE, Turkey, Egypt, Qatar also showing strong growth. What explains that accelerated growth in the Middle East, do you think?
Yeah, the robust growth in the Middle East, it's quite compelling. It likely reflects probably a combination of things. Increasing healthcare infrastructure development, for one, higher disposable incomes in key economies, definitely, and potentially a growing emphasis on maternal and child health within the region's own healthcare strategies. Plus, you probably have rising awareness among a more affluent, globally connected population about modern health practices.
Right. And then finally, let's turn to Africa. Now, it was the smallest market in 2021, just over $10 million. But it's also projected to more than double, reaching over 22 million by 2033. The CAGR is nearly 5.5%. Key countries like Nigeria projected over 4.4 million, and South Africa approaching 9 million. They're leading this emerging growth story. And if we kind of connect this back to the bigger picture, we're seeing demand for these collectors expanding across incredibly diverse socioeconomic landscapes. It really underscores the global relevance, doesn't it? And the increasing role these products play in supporting new families everywhere.
And there you have it. A deep dive into this, surprisingly robust and consistently growing global market for breast milk collectors. What started as just looking at market projections has really, I think, revealed a powerful story about how maternal health and parenting are evolving worldwide. The numbers, they don't lie. This market, which again, many might see as niche, is set to approach an impressive, $1 billion globally by 2033. We've seen how truly global it is. With these fascinating, sometimes surprising growth stories, Mexico, the rest of Europe, the Middle East, all pushing the strong upward trend, it's really a testament to how a product maybe once seen as just a convenience is becoming, more integrated, more essential in family life across the globe.
Yeah, absolutely. And given these strong, consistent projections, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, what broader trends, societal or health-related, might be driving this demand into the future? What does this widespread adoption tell us about, say, evolving family structures or health awareness, or even the role technology plays in supporting new parents worldwide, especially in places where maybe we wouldn't expect such rapid market expansion? It's definitely a question worth thinking about, looking beyond just the market numbers themselves.
Absolutely. A great thought to end on. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive, and thank you, our listeners, for your curiosity. We hope you gained some truly valuable insights today. Until next time, stay curious. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something maybe a bit unexpected, the global breast milk collectors market. It's this quiet corner of maternal care that's actually seeing some really interesting changes. And we've got some great data here from cognitive market research to help us figure out what's going on. Our plan is to unpack, what's driving growth, what's holding it back, and what the future might look like with innovation.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because it really taps into how things are changing for new mothers, health, tech, lifestyle. It's all connected. And this cognitive market research data, it's solid because it shows actual buying habits, not just what people say they'll do. It gives us a real picture.
Okay, so let's dig in. What's really pushing this market forward? What are the main drivers? I mean, one thing seems pretty clear. There's just more awareness globally about breastfeeding benefits, right?
Yeah.
You see health organizations talking about the immunity, the nutrition, the bonding, and moms are breastfeeding longer.
Yeah.
So they need stuff to help.
Exactly. That awareness piece is huge. And it leads directly into the need for accessories that support that choice.
And then there's the whole working mother angle. That seems like a massive factor, too. More women heading back to work, needing ways to manage things discreetly, like collecting milk during letdown or between pumping.
Absolutely. That passive collection is key for them.
Which probably explains the rise of these, wearable hands-free collectors, the silicone ones, especially with, tech-savvy moms who are juggling a million things.
Definitely. Think about the practicality being able to collect milk without stopping your workflow or worrying about leaks. It's about confidence, too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And don't forget e-commerce. It's blown up. Suddenly, there's way more access, reviews, information. It empowers moms to find what actually works for them.
Right. So, okay, lots of momentum. But it can't all be smooth sailing. Every market has challenges. What are the main things holding in this market back? The restraints.
Well, a big one is definitely awareness and access, but in the other direction. In many low and middle income areas, think rural Africa, South Asia, parts of Latin America, people might not know about these products or they can't afford them, or maybe culturally it's just not common yet.
Okay, so access is a major hurdle there. What else?
There's also the fact that, many consumers still lean towards traditional electric or manual pumps. They see pumps as the main tool for getting a full feed's worth of milk, so collectors feel more like a supplementary thing, for leaks mostly.
So it's seen as niche compared to a pump.
Kind of, yeah, and related to that is insurance. Pumps often get coverage, right? But collectors, usually not. So that's an out-of-pocket cost that can definitely sway decisions.
I see. So cost becomes a bigger factor if insurance isn't helping.
Exactly. And finally, there are some worries about hygiene or leakage if they're not used quite right or if they're lower quality. That can create a bit of skepticism, making some people stick with what they know, like pads or just pumps.
Right. Those are some significant barriers.
Yeah.
But like you said, things are changing. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Despite those hurdles, there's a lot of innovation. What trends are shaping the future here?
Okay, one really strong trend is the move towards sustainability. We're seeing a big demand for reusable options, especially these BPA-free silicone collectors. They replace disposable nursing pads, which is, much better for the environment.
That's huge. Less waste is always good. What else?
We're also seeing more collaboration with hospitals and lactation consultants.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, in places like the US, Canada, Germany, Japan, some hospitals are actually including collectors in the care packages they give to new moms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so moms get introduced to them right away. That helps with adoption.
And what about integrating them into clothing?
That's another one. You're seeing collectors designed to fit discreetly inside nursing bras or other apparel, so moms can wear them on the go, even while sleeping, without it being obvious. More convenience, more discretion.
Gotcha. And you mentioned brands earlier.
Right. The direct-to-consumer model is booming. These mother-centric brands are offering personalized kits, sometimes even apps to track milk volume, plus loads of educational content. It's creating a whole support system.
It really sounds like it's becoming more than just a product.
Exactly. If you step back and look at the bigger picture, this market isn't just about silicone cups. It's really about supporting modern motherhood, adapting to how lives have changed. It shows how technology and new needs are reshaping even very fundamental human experiences.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? It's a great example of how seemingly small innovations, like a better way to collect breast milk, can actually signal much bigger shifts. Think about work-life balance, sustainability, personal health tech. It's all reflected here. Maybe the takeaway is to keep an eye out for those quiet changes in everyday products. Ask yourself, is this just a new gadget, or is it telling us something deeper about where society is heading? Something to think about.